Good afternoon. It's wonderful to see you all here, and I hope that my brief presentation can help to clarify at least some of the elements that I see as being relevant in Thailand's current crisis. Thailand is on the verge, but I'd like to suggest that almost nothing is inevitable. I've got two observations and the inevitability. The first observation. This is a yellow shirt rally in Chiang Rai, in northern Thailand, just before the coup of the 19th of September 2006. Yellow shirts, Thai flags, a happy occasion. Cheering, waving, laughing, joyous people. The first indication you might get that this isn't the kind of yellow shirt rally that we've come to know is the text on this sign here. It says, "Lerk tang ki krang ga lerk pak Thai rak Thai." No matter how many times we vote, we will vote for the Thai rak Thai party, the party of former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra. This is a yellow shirt rally in support of the former Prime Minister. Back, of course, when he was Prime Minister. Back, of course, when yellow shirts meant something ever so slightly different. Thaksin Shinawatra, in those days, wore a yellow shirt. So my observation is that whether it's yellow, red, blue, white, multicoloured, it is very likely that the supposedly inevitable factions that we see will implode, reconstitute and regenerate. Even in the last couple of years, there have been some really significant changes, and we forget at our collective peril how quickly things can shift. We also forget, of course, that less than 5 years ago, nobody would have anticipated that in 2010 there would be open street fighting in Bangkok, where two opposing armies were faced off and firing at each other. My second observation. This is Google Trends information on search volume. The blue line is for Nai Luang, the red line is for Thaksin, and the yellow line is for Apisit. The red line goes all the way back to 2004. The blue line starts right at the end of 2004 with a little peak in December. The yellow line doesn't kick off until towards the end of 2007, when Apisit came more formally onto the scene. You'll note that the red line has some ups and downs. People search for Thaksin more often at some times than others. The yellow line, of course, stays quite low. But that blue line, look at that peak. June, July 2006. Everybody in Thailand is looking for information on the king. So to summarise, Google searches for the king tend to peak annually in December. We all understand that. That's when the king's birthday is. Google searches for Thaksin get more attention at certain times, and right now the Thaksin numbers are going up quickly. But Apisit stays low. It stayed very low, even while he's been Prime Minister, even while his government has teetered. Of course, the most significant peak when you compare these search terms, when you really compare the interest among Thai citizens in their politics and in the people who run it, you see that there was a peak in June, July 2006, around the time when Thais were celebrating the 60th anniversary of the coronation of the king. So I ask, when will the king peak again? And this is the inevitability. And you probably all assume that the inevitability that I want to highlight is the fact that at some stage the King of Thailand will die. No, that's not the inevitability. The inevitability, of course, for all humans is that our lifetimes are limited. But there's another inevitability of, I'd suggest, far more immediate relevance. And this is one that gets far, far, far less attention. And this is the inevitability that millions of Thais from all walks of life will use the internet in an effort to get better informed about what's happening in their country. This is inevitable. People may try and restrict that information. People may try and censor the internet in Thailand. But why? Why will people seek out answers, seek out new questions? The reason, of course, is the same reason that brings all of you here today. It's a reason that I could clarify in the following terms. There is a hunger, I'd suggest a deep-seated hunger in Thailand for uncensored analysis, better information, critical innuendo, radical perspectives and challenging arguments. And at the end of the current king's reign, there is, of course, also what might be described as a nascent digital insurgency. But, and here I'd suggest this is far more important, there is a wide-ranging campaign of self and societal education which is going on in Thailand as I speak. Judging the speed and the extent of that education is difficult. It's impossible to quantify. But in the internet age, political education is unpredictable and impossible to fully restrict. It is the result, and here I think we should bear in mind the democratic character of this, of personal initiative and curiosity. And just to give you a sense of how this plays out, this is a screen grab from the Prachathai web board, a website which is regularly blocked or restricted in Thailand, which has a number of people all coming online, all asking for information. They all want to know what's going on. They all want to see the best reports. They all want to see, in this case, the report that the ABC's Eric Campbell recently put together, which was broadcast on Australian TV. This is a big, long list of people, all putting up their hand and asking to be better informed. So my point is that the real inevitability here is that Thais will become better informed. They will, of course, because the internet allows it to be so. But they will probably still choose to disagree on very many important points. And I'd suggest finally that that isn't in fact always a bad thing. Thank you very much.
I'm going to do a little bit of a show and tell. I'm not a student of Thai politics directly. My interests are